This lawsuit claims that a young doctor who mistakenly cut into that woman's small intestines should never have been holding the scalpel.
That wound allegedly went unnoticed for 2 days. 2 days that changed her life in unthinkable ways. Eyewitness News investigative reporter Paul Boyd has dug through this lawsuit. And Paul, this case has a lot of layers and some pretty big implications.
Scott and Erica, this is a stunning medical malpractice case stemming from a surgery that should have been very routine here at CMC Maine. Adrienne Harris was a healthy 41-year-old mother of 3. In 2015, she became pregnant, but the egg was stuck in a fallopian tube.
This all began with an ectopic pregnancy, which should have been a relatively simple fix.
Attorney Charles Manette says Adrienne should only have needed an overnight stay at CMC Maine.
During her surgery, there was an injury to her bowel that went undetected, undiagnosed, and unrepaired.
Medical records suggest it took 2 days for doctors to realize there was a hole in the small bowel. By then, her abdomen was grossly contaminated and she was suffering from severe sepsis. The lawsuit says Miss Harris remained deathly ill in the ICU.
It just snowballed, one mistake after the other.
Adrienne's medical treatment resulted in gangrene. We blurred the graphic images. Eventually, she required below-the-knee amputations of both legs and transradial amputations of both hands. She also won't be able to properly digest food by mouth for the rest of her life.
No one can imagine what it would be like to suddenly wake up one day with no hands and no feet.
The negligence lawsuit names the hospital and 3 doctors and suggests the inexperience of one resident helping perform the surgery was a factor.
She would have had limited experience just by the fact she was a resident.
The suit also names House Speaker Tim Moore and Senate Leader Phil Berger. Monette is challenging the constitutionality of a 7-year-old law that caps damages in medical malpractice cases to only $500,000.
She's lost her ability to live a normal life. She's lost the ability to care for her children. Why should the politicians in Raleigh be allowed to tell her what that is worth?
And Carolina's healthcare system told me they do not comment on active litigation. Moore and Berger also said that they would not weigh in at this point. Scott?
Really just hard to imagine what she's going through, Paul. You mentioned inexperience in your report, and I understand the lawsuit also raises questions about something that's called the July effect.
Yeah, that's right, Scott. The lawsuit argues a connection between the month of July, when inexperienced residents first start practicing in hospitals like this, and this specific surgery that took place in the month of July, and there was a resident involved in this surgery. We'll continue to follow developments. Back to you, Scott.
All right, Paul, thank you. Dozens of you have already shared this story on our Eyewitness News Facebook page. You can join the conversation. Just search WSOC and click like at the top of the page.